Esther.
I'm Nick.
And we're Falchematic Off-Grid. We're hailing to you from the cold and the snow right now. It's quite cold and quite snowy. We've taken a week of rest and reflection, not exactly on purpose. We each had a day, and it wasn't the same day where we just needed to rest. So it's been fine. It's been good. We're coming back to you after our week of rest with our announcement of our list of 10 goals for 2017. We already shared with you our relative success, really, with our list for 2016, so there's no reason why we wouldn't go through this process again. We've had good success with setting goals and having that help us to organize our efforts and really make a homestead where there wasn't one before. Okay, so Nick, start us off. Goal number one.
They're not in any order of priority. I wouldn't say that we'd do number one before we do number 10, but they're just 10 things. So first on the list is a shop. Build a shop. I just need some amount of cover in order to do projects kind of year round. I know that I won't be able to do every type of project in the dead of winter, probably ever, I don't know. But we just need to get started on a permanent building where I keep all my stuff safe and I have a little bit of room to work. So this isn't a temporary shop, it is the beginning of a permanent shop.
And although he said they aren't in any list of priority, that kind of is our number one. It's the number one that came up. It's the number one we're telling you. And that's a really important thing for us right now.
Yep, I just need a space where I can produce.
All right, number two, the exterior of the house.
I like the Lowe's paper.
Don't you? Don't
blue,
you all love the Lowe's paper?
The white with the blue and the...
It's our theme, our colors.
It's nice. And I did a really nice job with the tape. But it's not. It's been more permanent than we intended, and it's time to, when spring comes, to get some siding on there.
Yeah, there's a real disconnect between our gorgeous inside and our kind of unfinished outside. You don't come up to our house and think you're coming into this beautiful interior.
It's not entirely finished in here either.
Well, truth be told, true. All right, which brings us to number 3. Animal husbandry. Mm-hmm. So we had to get this on the list. We've had animals here for the last 3 years, even if they were or weren't on the list. But they went on the list this year because we want to pay attention to strategies, particularly paying attention to nutrition. We've got 2 goats who are, I'm pretty sure, pregnant. We haven't done a blood test, but they are starting to show. And they certainly did have the opportunity to become pregnant. And if they are pregnant and from that occasion, then they're due in early February, which isn't far away. So right at the turn of the year, we started looking at their nutrition and started thinking about what supplements we can give them in order to achieve the best outcomes, or to just check out that relationship between nutrition and pregnancy outcomes, and just really put our focus on that. We love our animals, and we certainly have taken care of them up to this point, but it's time to focus on strategies and systems there so that we can have animals reproducing, and that's really one of the key elements of sustainability or a self-sustaining homestead.
Absolutely. We don't want to run a petting zoo forever, so we need them to be productive. So this will put us in more goats and milk, which was the goal from the beginning. So, like with anything, it took us a while to get around to, kind of gathering all the bits of information and just where we are on the learning curve. But we want to be productive with them.
On the list. All right, number 4, and this one is similar, garden methods.
We've had a lot of garden space, and last year, I think, was on the list twice as much garden, and we did by square footage, but not necessarily by harvest.
Right. Yeah, our garden efforts really have been reasonably good. They were terrible my very first year, and then my second year I didn't even try. But my third and fourth summers here, we did have a lot of gardening. We were able to put up a lot, especially tomatoes. We've done well with tomatoes, and also had lots of sugar snap peas, and we're starting to get some fruit off of our fruit trees. So we're not in a failure position here, but we sure are in a place where we need to get systematic about it.
Right.
No more throwing things and just trying to hope that they land well.
Right. Yeah.
Number 5, kids' music, for a change of tracks here.
Yes. I didn't really grow up with music lessons. I did band in junior high, but it was mostly mechanical for me. It was, I didn't necessarily learn music, so I didn't have an appreciation for music, and it didn't stick with me at all. I don't know that you had any musical training.
I didn't have musical training either, but we had music in the house. Several of my family members, I'm going to say most of my family members, are very musical. And it's just something that we really care about, but have kind of let slide.
Right. And so we just, while they're young, want to try and get them interested and give them a foundation for learning on their own.
It's also a way to kind of make us accountable towards enrichment in our kids' lives. We've discussed this in a couple Q&As, but we certainly don't want to have our kids overscheduled. We don't want to be driving them here and there. But we also do want to respect that they're human beings and that we've had access to certain kinds of enrichment in our lives. We don't want our kids to be, not able to access that kind of thing. So we picked one thing, which is music. I have a couple of pretty simple, very achievable ideas of how to go about it. And I'm making us accountable to it. Number 6 is the kitchen.
Kitchen. I don't know. We have a kitchen right now.
It completely doesn't bother me that I have to walk to the bathtub to fill a pot of water.
Right.
Because that's so much easier than walking to the spring.
And you don't have to walk outside to go use the stove.
Right?
Between your prep area and your stove, there's no door.
So our temporary kitchen is already feeling pretty posh to us. But Nick has a kind of in-process design for a completely gorgeous kitchen that I'm excited to see happen.
Yeah, so lots of open storage, places for all the canned goods, places for the dry goods, easy access because we use them all the time. We do a lot of baking. Out of the way storage for things like dishes, which we've just kind of stared at for the last 4 years. But it's still small. It's not huge, but we just need to set our priorities and kind of get clever.
And there's a sink. Did you mention there's going to be a sink?
And there's a great big, normal size, double basin copper sink that I got for a great deal. So I'm excited about that.
Yeah, a kitchen. All right, number 7. The rocket mass heater in the yurt.
We're sold on this technology. It's awesome. It'll be quite the project in the yurt because the floor isn't built to handle it. So there'll be a lot of cutting away of floor. But I think if we want that to be a semi-permanent structure and a guest house, that'll be a great step in making it more useful.
And we're hoping this time to have some friends to help us with the cob. We may even do a kind of a workshop structure so people can have some hands-on experience with cob or with the rocket mass heater idea in exchange for helping us so that we aren't doing it just one little bucket at a time.
Right.
Forever.
Yeah, cob is not as fun with just a couple of people, and it's miserable by yourself.
And we're also going to try not to wait until November to do it. Hopefully we can get this on the list before November, before it's frozen. All right, number 8, design addition.
Right, so we always thought that we would add on a ground floor bedroom, master bedroom, with a door. And so we just need to go into the design phase of that. And along with that, design our covered porch and the deck and sort of all of the additional structures onto the house.
Number 9, we always put something in that's a little bit more general and kind of in terms of attitude. And our number 9 is prepare for guests. We have not had a place for people to stay. This is the bummer about tiny houses. It's kind of a complicated thing about minimalist living or tiny houses in terms of limiting your space, is that it's hard to have guests. And so the last 2 Christmases, we haven't had anybody here. And although that's been really good for our family, really special for us to have time together, several members of my family were all ready to come for Christmas this year, and we told them they couldn't because we just weren't ready. So we really want to be able to have them next year and have it be awesome and comfortable. And beyond that, just to be able to have people up here and not worry too much about the extreme discomfort that they might be in.
Right. So I guess the yurt is a big piece of that puzzle, and also just better completion on the house. So it's more like, more like other houses where you just walk up to something and it works. So we will definitely get there.
Right. And number 10, no shortcuts.
We've done a lot of things out of necessity, I guess. Quick solutions that just get us through, and then we end up sort of relying on those quick solutions for longer than they were intended, or longer than they're really reasonable. So we just want to put that on there to remind ourselves to avoid being in a hurry, I guess.
And that's really about our point in the process as far as homesteading goes. There are certain points where you just have to do shortcuts because that's what you have to do. You have to get something there. But at the point at which we have walls and heat and running water and bathroom doors, it's almost like we no longer have excuses. It's time for us to do things correctly, deliberately, to have each thing that we're making be something that's going to last, preferably even into the next generation.
Sure. And yeah, there's a lot of right ways to do things, but we have to pick one and not sort of settle for whatever we think we can achieve in the next 10 minutes.
Right? So that's our list of 10 things for 2017. We wish you all a happy new year. It's been a good year for us. We've had a good year, and we're looking forward to another good one.
Absolutely. Thanks for watching.
See you next time.
And then we can draw the flower. Do you like it, Fiona? I'm sure you do. She does like it.